Hello, this is Bonsai, or known as Excel here, and I'm just gonna mention that this mobile suit, the MRS GP02, is one of the most broken mobile suits in the entire game. It is so easy to use. All you have to do, shoot your machine guns and shoot your rockets. And when you're on the ground, it's even more dangerous. In this specific match, I'm just constantly throwing in firepower over and over and over again. And I imagine if this was put to a crazy man's perspective of a really good player's hands, and I mean like players that are goddamn freaking armor rays, this mobile suit, they basically can abuse it, and they just laugh. And throughout this whole time, there were just a bunch of shikis on the enemy team, and I felt like during the very beginning they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were supposed to go after the support. And the thing about the MLRS, you can't hide from it. That's the problem about this mobile suit. Another problem about this mobile suit is that it's got a big ass shield, and this big ass shield saves you 100% of the time, and your opponent just looks at you like, why are you using that thing? And I'm just like, why not? Do you feel its pain? Do you feel the painful from this mobile suit? This removes everybody's skills. No matter how you move out of the situation, no matter how many times you try to get out cover, this thing will wreck you. It's painful to say this. I don't like using this mobile suit. I hate using this thing because it's just so goddamn easy. This is the most ultimate couch potato mobile suit you can ever use in this game. And I've heard players where they say, oh, I'm so good with the MLRS and blah blah blah. I'm gonna say everyone can be good with it. It takes no skill. Like this thing, man, look at that. Like the rockets can just double stagger, and you just go in for the Vulcans. They can't maneuver out of that. And the crazy thing about the Vulcans is that it has powers to just stagger. And yo, I melted that man. You know? And whoever uses this MLRS, you're gonna understand when you're in front of the opponent, they can't do anything. The only way they can literally do something is either shoot your goddamn booster wings or try to do a melee on your goddamn ridiculous shield. And who wants to do a goddamn melee on a goddamn freaking Spartan? No one! Like, you must be insane. But this thing is not fair. It's a broken mobile suit. It's a broken mobile suit like the goof flight type. The goof flight type was stupid ridiculous. No matter where you hid or where you went, it's gonna either get you either way when you're on low HP, and man, even goes after your high HP. But ever since they nerfed the goof flight type, now it's just basically dead memories, and no one uses it anymore. And that's pretty damn sad, because basically it was good the way it worked. And I remember there was a time when it came out, no one was using it. Everybody thought it was boring, it was really weak, and this and that. They said it was weak. And when I literally used that mobile suit, I abused the hell out of it. And if you could abuse the hell out of a mobile suit, you can just feel it. You can feel the aura of the power, the movement. And that's what I basically did. I accidentally hit that my own teammate from behind. But that's the thing, you cannot hide from this mobile suit. You see, this guy was trying to evade, but yeah, no. And this thing just laughs at Zongs. I enjoy killing Zongs with this mobile suit. And another crazy thing about this whole nerfing type of extravaganza, people just nerf a mobile suit when they get their asses whooped. You know, like, it's understandable, but it doesn't mean that it needs to get completely nerfed. You know, then you're gonna take the whole fun of the mobile suit out of it, and no one's gonna ever use it, like the goof light type. And it's a sad story. Like, I've used so many of my mobile suits, and I haven't seen a single goof flight type in a single match anymore, because it just gets knocked down so down quick. And that makes people so satisfied, you know. But hey, you can't fight against it. And right here, I was getting attacked by 2 raids in 2 angles. And you cannot hide from 2 Shikis. If you're trying to run away from 2 Shikis, you are having a hard day, because yeah, that's gonna be pretty damn difficult. Those suckers can catch up pretty quick. But the MRS, it can beat Shikis. The reason why it can beat Shikis, if you keep your distance away from Shiki players as a support, this thing reigns supreme, and it's basically king. And it's a king of, I'm gonna say, it's gonna be the king of supports. It always has been. Ever since it came out, it was just too overpowered and too damn dangerous. You know, like, why don't we add a big old shield on a support mobile suit? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Developers thinking wild again. And when developers think wild again, people just tend not to use mobile suits. Because they get nerfed over time. A good type of nerf would be like a G3. The G3 needed a dodge roll. That's all I needed. And it did some really good work. And I was able to get first place on my very first match with this Gp02. I'm just like, nuh-uh. Why the hell did I get first place? I literally didn't even break a sweat. And I know there's like those damn AAA players, they are just gonna, they're not gonna even die at least once. But hey, a lot of these mobile suits, they have a lot of potential. Some don't have any more potential because they get spanked around because of the damn nerfs. But hey, you know what it is. I despise fighting against this mobile suit, this specific mobile suit, because it's just too overpowered. I'd give the rating of this mobile suit is a 10 out of 10, and right there I accidentally boosted weirdly. My mobile suit started to float. But I'm gonna say this mobile suit is even more dangerous on the ground. I cannot use the vertical rockets because it would just hit the ceiling and that would hit my teammates, and that's not a pretty sign. And that just puts a really bad name, you know, in your name. right here. I was just staying over here. And that Shiki he rushed in a bad moment. He wasn't supposed to do that. He was supposed to wait for his generals to push up. If you don't wait for your generals to push up, then you are gonna be, good old-fashioned Wild West shooting gallery, and that's not a pretty sight. Now, at this moment, I'm just rushing these guys because I know I can just shove this good old-fashioned shield. I feel like that shield guy from freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! With the 2,600 HP with this thing. But man, oh man, I think I needed 2 more shots for that man to be finished right there in the... I think that was 1 shot or something like that. And that's the crazy thing about this mobile suit. All you have to do is use goddamn freaking boost, ranged boost. And ranged boost just makes this mobile suit even miserably dangerous. And man, it's so sad. Like, I don't even have a level 2 of this variant, and I imagine if I had a level 2 of this variant, this thing would have a little bit more melting capabilities. And just throwing the ice in hot water, you understand the whole expression right there. And at this point, I had no shield, and that's the crazy thing about the GP02s. It's 20,000 health. And I'm able to fight without a shield, and that is insane. And the rockets in this mobile suit has crazy splash damage, and it's ridiculous, and it's painful just to watch the enemy suffer. And that's the good thing about this mobile suit. If you're having a really bad day and you just want to be having a blast, this thing is good. But if you're going to use this all the freaking time in every single match, then it's just going to get so boring. Right there, they were able to catch me. Shiki right there did what it was supposed to do, which is amazing. And throughout this whole time, like, my team was filled with GP03s. GP03s is one mobile suit I like to get my hands on. That is an honest day's work of the hands. You can honestly use that mobile suit and relax. You just don't have to kick back like this goddamn abomination. And the crazy thing, like, I don't feel like this mobile suit is a 3-star. I just feel like it's a goddamn freaking 5-star mobile suit. I just feel like it's just way up there. It's like a tank. Kind of reminds me of a goddamn freaking mouse tank in War Thunder, but even a more freaking advanced version. And the crazy thing about this mobile suit is that you can literally get the shield and shove it in all the enemies' faces in the front lines. And what are they gonna shoot? The shield! Of course! What can you shoot? Only weakness in this mobile suit is that you have to get behind. But getting behind this mobile suit, you gotta be freaking out of your mind. And right here, I had to boost out of that situation because I did not want to get outnumbered. And the crazy thing about this mobile suit is that it does what it supposed to do. It does its work. Right here, I wasn't sure what was going on. But the thing about this mobile suit is once you get staggered, I feel like it takes ages to get out of the staggered. And I believe at one point there was an enemy opponent who went to our base and tried to arm it, which was a bad idea, because he left his whole teammates pretty damn open. And that's not good. You don't want your own teammates to just leave their legs open for a good old-fashioned booty whipping buffet. And the thing about this mobile suit is that it's absolutely devastating in 1v1 situations too. And at this point I'm just like, oh Nelly, there's someone over here. And when you are in a kneel position in this mobile suit, and if you're if you're literally laying down, you get triple the damage. And you don't think that's insane? It's ridiculous. So think of it. Have you ever used this mobile suit laying down? Ever? Huh. I think you probably have, or you probably haven't. But I can tell you, it's not a pretty sight in the other end of the barrel. At this point I'm like, oh man, the match is already gonna be over. And throughout this whole time I was basically messing up a lot. Right here I messed up. Right there, that whole section, I could have got extra damage right there. And that's the thing about this mobile suit, it throws out so much damage. So much damage, constant damage, over and over and over again. I was able to get really good ranking. This is another freaking match I used with this thing, just showing how goddamn easy this thing is. Just so good, but to the point that this thing could be abused. When I use a mobile suit, I just understand its full functionalities, where I am able to visualize every single movement and spec of the machine. If I visualize every single movement and spec of the machine, I understand its capabilities. If you just go into the match and you're just playing just the way you're just playing, and you don't understand its capabilities, then you are basically giving yourself false information, because you gotta fill yourself some info. With this mobile suit, you know this thing's overkill. And the thing is that I'm not even sure if this thing has maneuver armor. If it had maneuver armor like the GP02 BB, then this thing would have been really busted. I believe it was really busted in GPO, like Gundam Battle Operations 1 with the GPO1 and then the GPO2s. These guys were on top, and these guys would just poop on it. All low tier mobile suits. And if you want to go into the action, this thing can go into the action. It can go front lines, middle lines, back lines. It is absolutely dangerous, and I'm not using it correctly. That's saying a lot. Now I'm trying to get behind the enemy, because who would expect a GP02 getting behind an enemy. That basically throws off their whole idea of getting their whole groups formed. It's a good idea to just always split your enemies into group like parts, because if you don't, and if they're all in one whole solid formation, it would take a little bit longer. But as you can see, a lot of the enemy troops are mad separated. Right here, I'm just like, I'm gonna chill out in this alleyway, see if I can do some nice things out here. He was able to, and that's the thing, you can't dodge from that. You see? That is ridiculously overpowered. Vulcans, rockets. Vulcans, rockets. Vulcans, rockets. I don't think in any of these matches I've used a single beam saber. Not at all. But sometimes in certain moments, in close engagements, that beam saber can save you. But you have to be pretty damn quick. And throughout this whole time, I'm doing a pretty damn sloppy job. What I was doing right there throughout the whole specific situation was a bad idea. I was hugging the floor, or the ceiling, because the colony's kind of upside down. But I was hugging the floor. That's not a good idea. I was supposed to stay up there. I would have got blasted by a bazooka. And that's another weakness about this mobile suit. If you ever want to go up against this thing and you want to beat this thing, shoot the ground. You shoot the ground, you are able to stagger thing. You can throw this thing off its track and its killing spree, because that's a really good way. The reason why I say that is because the feet are pretty large, so you have a large chance of just getting away with your bazooka shots. Right there, that man literally boosted in front of me, and you know how that's pretty desperate. You know, like boosting in front of a GP02 and the opponent obviously knows that they are gone. That just shows how devastating this thing can be. This thing's, oh man, this GP02 is overkill. They should have never put this in the game. Literally. I'm not sure if it got any nerfs or anything like that, but it's just, man. And the craziest thing is that I can literally spam rockets, bazookas, and that whole little section right there, and these guys are just literally trying to shatter my damn freaking shield. I didn't mind that free kill. I wasn't sure why that man got off his mobile suit. And this thing loves to feed off of generals. It enjoys fighting generals. And generals just don't even stand a chance against this thing. Zeta Mark IIs. If you can get yourself in an open map. This whole time I was using this map, and this map is not good for this mobile suit. It's good when you're in an open map, you know, because you're able to maneuver out of situations. Right here, I didn't have to worry about 6, 4, and 5. I could just relax and just jump in. I basically relax with this mobile suit. I don't get sweaty at all. You know, like this thing is no skill. Like it's a no skill mobile suit. And the crazy thing is that the machine guns are insane, and I'm not sure what is the damage per shot. I think it's like 160, 180, or I'm not sure, but like if you add that, if you multiply times 60, yeah, that's a big number. You know, I can throw in some multiplications, be like precisely, you know, and that's this mobile suit precisely. I can precisely get you this much damage. Okay, so the damage is like around 160 to the 150 range. But I believe that's to the generals. And when you're fighting, what's the word? Mobile suits that you have a disadvantage with, the mobile suit that would fight this thing would have to get really close. And when I mean really close, they can't sit back. So you have to rush this mobile suit. If you don't rush this mobile suit, you are asking for a whipping. And that's basically this mobile suit. I give this mobile suit 10 out of 10. Overkill. Y'all take care. Most overpowered support in the game.